Get comfortable, wherever you are right now. You don't need to fix your posture. You don't need to do this correctly. You just need to let your body stop working for a few minutes. Breathe in. And let it out slower than it came in. One more like that. In and out, longer. Good. Nothing to solve tonight. Just rest and listen. Somewhere underneath your daily life, there is a belief about what you're allowed to have. Not what you want, what you believe is actually available to someone like you. And I want to walk through why that belief matters so much, not just tell you that it does. Here's the first piece. Your mind cannot pay attention to everything in front of you at once. There's simply too much information. So underneath your awareness, something is constantly filtering, deciding what's worth noticing and what gets ignored. And the filter isn't neutral. It's built from what you already believe is true about your life. If your belief is opportunities like that don't come to people like me, your filter quietly discounts the opportunity before you've even consciously evaluated it. You notice the reason it probably won't work before you notice the reason it might. That's the first way belief shapes outcome, not mystically, but through attention. You genuinely see a different set of options than someone with a different belief, standing in the exact same room. Here's the second piece. Belief doesn't stay in your head, it moves into your posture, your tone of voice, your timing. Think of two people walking into the same negotiation. One believes, underneath, I have to convince them I deserve this. The other believes, underneath, this is simply what the work is worth. Watch them from across the room, with the sound off, you would see the difference before either of them said a word. One leans in asking permission. The other states a fact. The words might even be similar. The belief underneath changes everything about how those words land. Here's the third piece, and it's the one that convinces people the least, so listen closely. When the belief is, I don't get the big wins, and an opportunity partially fails. That belief doesn't just feel confirmed, it actively stops you from trying the next one with full effort. So the belief doesn't only shape how this one moment goes. It shapes whether you show up fully for the next 10 moments after it. This is the actual chain. Belief shapes what you notice. What you notice shapes what you attempt. What you attempt, and how fully you attempt it, shapes what actually happens. And what happens becomes new evidence, for whichever belief you already had. That is the real mechanism behind what gets called luck, or attraction, or the universe rewarding certain people. It's not mystical. It's belief compounding quietly for years. I won't tell you this belief came from nowhere, because it didn't. Some of it came from your family. What money, ambition, or wanting more meant in the house you grew up in. Some of it came from your country, your culture, what people who looked like you, or came from where you came from, were quietly taught was realistic to want. That part is real. Your starting conditions are not imaginary, and I'm not asking you to pretend they didn't shape you. But a starting belief was built the same way every belief gets built in a young mind that hasn't yet learned to question anything, through repetition, and through emotional charge, not through careful evaluation. A belief built through repetition without evaluation can be rebuilt through repetition without force. That's not a metaphor. That's the actual mechanism we're going to use for the rest of this session. This is the part most meditations skip, or rush through in one line. We're not going to rush it. Reprogramming a belief doesn't happen by arguing with the old one. Arguing keeps it active. It happens by giving your subconscious a new, specific, emotionally real experience to file away instead, vividly enough that it registers as evidence, not just as a wish. So I'm going to walk you through a scene. Let it form loosely, you don't need to see it perfectly, like a movie. Just let an impression form, the way a memory feels, not the way a photograph looks. Picture a near-future moment, a specific day, close enough to be believable, where something you've been working toward actually lands. Maybe it's a message arriving with good news. Maybe it's a room where people say yes instead of let us think about it. Maybe it's simply the feeling of opening your finances and feeling calm instead of afraid. Choose whichever one feels most true for you right now. Don't force the biggest version, just the truest one. Now notice, in this scene, how are you standing? Not straining. Not performing gratitude for the camera. Just settled. Like someone for whom this was always going to happen eventually. Notice what it feels like in your chest, right now. Imagining that settledness. Let that feeling be the real target, not the outcome itself. But this specific feeling of course. Say quietly, inwardly, as though it's simply true. This is available to someone like me. I don't have to force this. I only have to welcome it. Wins are parts of my life. They are becoming the pattern. Wins are parts of my life. They are becoming the pattern. I only have to welcome them. Wins are parts of my life. They are becoming the pattern. I only have to welcome them. Success is part of my life. Success is becoming the pattern. Success is part of my life. Success is becoming the pattern. I only have to welcome it. Success is part of my life. Success is becoming the pattern. I only have to welcome success. Belief doesn't arrive all at once. It arrives the way morning arrives. You don't notice the exact second it stopped being night. You just notice, eventually, that it's light out. Tonight is one more repetition. That's all it needs to be. Let your breathing return to whatever feels natural now. You don't have to hold on to any of this consciously. Your only job tonight is to rest, while something underneath keeps working without your supervision. The way your body keeps repairing itself while you sleep, without you managing it. Family gave you a starting belief. Circumstances gave you a starting belief. But the belief moving forward from here, the one deciding what you reach for tomorrow, what you say yes to, what you finally stop under asking for, that one is still being written, and tonight added one more true line to it. Nothing to force. Nothing to chase. Just rest. And let the reset continue underneath you, exactly as it's meant to. If you want to keep building a life that's more successful, more abundant, and genuinely better than the one you're in now, the simplest way to support that is to like this video and subscribe, so your mind can find its way back here again. And if you'd like to actually understand what's running underneath your own subconscious, not just listen to it, but work with it directly, there's more on that in the description below. Thank you for watching. And see you tomorrow.